The game Escape from Tarkov is in the news because the developer Battlestate Games was recently banned on Twitch for apparently inadvertently violating the infamous Twitch Community Guidelines or TOS, and because there was a new update and a lot of streamers are playing the game. For fans of Tarkov, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but Tarkov is a Russian game made by Russians. Ergo, if you pay money to play Tarkov, my opinion is that you are probably helping to fund the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. This presents a difficult dilemma. Russian and Chinese software also present major hacking risks for your phone and computer. Today's video is also directed at people who are under the impression that the real developer of Tarkov is an English company paying most of its direct or indirect taxes to the UK government instead of a Russian company paying most of its direct or indirect taxes to the Russian government. As a reminder, I prioritize my Twitter page at QuickScope.re for all of my video content. Officially, Battlestate Games is a UK company with its headquarters in London, England. This is according to its LinkedIn page and various apologists on social media who may or may not be bots. Regardless of the location of its official headquarters, let's first establish that most of the employees are Russian and physically located in Russia. This would mean that the operating company that actually makes the game is likely Russian, not English. Until the Russian invasion of Ukraine, it was widely recognized that Battlestate Games was a Russian game company headquartered in St. Petersburg, Russia. After the invasion, some people claim it is actually a London company now. Ha 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 ha. On its LinkedIn page, it shows the self-identified location of its employees. Most of the employees list their location as Russia. I couldn't find the CEO of the company, but the most senior person I did find was this guy, who lists his location as Russia on LinkedIn and Twitter. On the homepage for Battlestate Games, there are some job postings. All of the job postings except one have a physical location that is in Russia. One of the job locations is remote. Every single news article one could find on the topic indicates that the physical location and nationality of most of the employees who make the game are Russian. So, this obviously implies that the company that employs the Russians is Russian. Now that I have established that the makers of the game are actually mostly Russian, let's establish that a Russian company with a UK subsidiary can pay virtually zero taxes to the UK government despite being highly profitable, and instead pay most of its taxes to the Russian government. A UK holding company with a Russian operating subsidiary can also pay very low taxes to the UK government and instead pay most of its taxes to the Russian government. Battlestate Games is a private company, so I don't know how it is structured. Hardly anyone does. Hypothetically, let's say that a Russian company makes a product and it establishes a UK subsidiary to sell the product to Western countries. In this example, let's assume the UK subsidiary has one employee in the UK and a small office in the UK, but has 99 employees in Russia. In this hypothetical example, the UK company takes in $110 million in gross revenues. Let's assume that the customers are located in Canada and it pays $10 million in sales taxes to the Canadian government, so the revenues after sales taxes are $100 million. The UK subsidiary would then pay a very large licensing fee to the Russian operating company. This licensing fee can be over $100 million, depending on the specifics of the situation. So, in this example, the net profit of the UK subsidiary is zero or negative, and therefore it pays zero corporate income taxes to the UK government. Let's assume that the Russian company that owns the UK subsidiary generates $100 million in net revenue from the licensing fee. In general, Russian companies pay property taxes and payroll taxes, or the equivalent, to the Russian government. A game company's largest expense is probably employee salaries. Russian employees pay those income taxes to the Russian government. They would also pay various investment taxes on the savings. So even if this company paid corporate income taxes in the UK, its Russian employees in Russia would pay personal income taxes to the Russian government. This hypothetical company has a lot of other local Russian expenses. The Russian suppliers and the Russian employees of the suppliers pay taxes on the money they make to the Russian government. Monetary velocity means that 1 ruble of economic activity can generate more than 1 ruble of GDP in a country and thus more taxes. Any corporate income left over in the Russian company is taxed by the Russian government as well, depending on the corporate structure. Lastly, The Russian owners of this hypothetical company could also pay various investment taxes to the Russian government. In this hypothetical, the Canadian government got $10 million in sales tax, the UK government got close to no taxes, and the Russian government got $32.1 million in taxes. According to news reports, the Russian government has already spent close to $100 billion on its invasion of Ukraine. The budget of a government is largely funded by taxes and government-owned enterprises. I would be very surprised if most of the taxes generated by escape from Tarkov, directly or indirectly, were not paid to the Russian government. If you are not concerned about where these taxes are going, perhaps you should research whether Russian and Chinese software is spyware or can easily be converted to spyware. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please follow me on Twitter at QuickScopeRE.